Good morning, good afternoon, good day, whatever it is in your world. Welcome. We are going to move, we are going to breathe, we are going to be in our bodies. So let's start with just landing in your body. Taking in your environment, orienting to this moment right now, here and letting go of whatever happened through the night or before now and whatever's going to happen later, and try to keep coming back to presence with your own body within the experience that you're having right now. So the sort of phenomenological slash vibrational version of being a human in a body, not a conceptual thinky think about it, but a I'm in it, this is what it feels like, here's my experience, and I'm present with that. So that is the invitation for today. Really present with yourself. Inhale, open, reach to the heavens, and exhale, bend your knees, coming back down to earth. Inhale, open, reach, stretch it up. Exhale, and bend your knees. Inhale, open, lift, and stretch. Exhale, bend your knees, drop your head, relax your back. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Lift, open your heart and lungs, reach through your fingertips. Exhale, bend your knees. Feel yourself coming down towards the ground. Inhale, up to the skies. Exhale, drop it down, relax, bending your knees. Last one. Inhale, lift and open. Exhale, bend your knees. Bend one side and then the other, free up your spine. If your back is tight, you could do this up higher. If your back is loose, your hamstrings are loose, do it in a forward fold. Bend one knee, bend the other. Let movement ripple through your spine from your tail to your head. I'm going to bring that up. So if I'm up, I'm shifting my weight, pushing off of one foot, letting it ripple up to my head. So we have a lateral weight shift from side to side. And these are just words. Really, let's be in the experience of what's happened. Reach it out from one side, reach it out to the other. Let your foot push and then reach it out through your arm. Foot pushes, reach it out. My arm disappears into the light. Getting this side movement rippling up your body. Good. So sometimes we get really stuck in the vertical and there's not a lot of side. But in this way, we're inviting this wave movement from the bottom to the top. Let's do some twisting, looking around behind you, just starting in center. So you are with your weight between both feet evenly, looking around behind you. Again, taking in the environment. Not that you have to get caught up in it, but just notice it. Notice the world around you. See with your eyeballs. See if you can look all the way behind you every time. And then we're going to change it so that you're going to push off one leg and come to the other side. Pushing and twisting, pushing and twisting. So the initiation of the movement starting down at my foot as I push up and spiral. And then I'm going to change it. I'm going to get my cameraman to adjust this so you can see my feet as well. And I'm going to push onto the back leg and flex the front foot. Pushing, letting that ripple up and around, letting my arms hit my hips. Really free flow in the arms. Good. And then coming back into center. And let's do just an eye exercise. So coming in close so you can see my eyes. I'm going to look up, down, to one side, to the other side. I'm going to imagine taking my eyes back toward the back of my head. Then I'm going to let them move forward in space. So again, eyes go up, down, from one side to the other. Eyes go back into my head. I'm going to close my eyes and then I'm going to sort of bulge forward. One third time. Last time. Up, down, to one side, to the other side. Take your eyes back in your head and then forward. Then we're just going to drop our head forward. Let your eye weight drop forward. They are balls of water. And then lift slowly. I'm going to keep my eyes closed. Well, you might want to see the screen. So, and I'm just going to look up, but I'm going to let my eyeballs drop back into my head. So slowly dropping my head downward, feeling my eyeballs in my cranium, and then lifting up and letting the eye weight drop back. So I'm closing my eyes and just letting my head go slowly forward and then slowly up, supporting my head as it goes back. So I'm not totally dropping it. And then come in, and we're going to do diagonals. So you're going to go to either high right or high left, to the opposite low right or low left, making a diagonal with your eyeballs up to the corner and then down to the opposite corner, up to the corner, down to the opposite corner. Change it to the other diagonal, up to the corner, down to the opposite corner, up to the corner, down to the opposite corner, up to the corner, down to the opposite corner. And then you're going to circle around. So eyes are going to look around in a circle. Notice if your eyes kind of want to skip one area, try to take in the whole periphery around you as if you're circling like a circular horizon. Go the other way. If this feels like too much of a strain, make your circle smaller. Last one. 2 or 3 is enough. You don't need to do a million of these. So just 2 or 3 is fine. And we're going to come back in and turn your head. Head turn. As I turned my head to one side, I saw my cat outside on the back porch charging across. The little white kitty, the big white kitty loves to charge around the house. So when we do this with our eyes and our head and our neck and our face, when we look around panning the horizon, we're giving our brainstem the information that we're safe, and that gives us the chance to just down regulate a little bit to know, oh, nothing's going to happen. I don't need to be on guard. I can relax a little. So looking around is a great thing to do. It doesn't have to be a big range of motion. It can be smaller. Let's come back up to moving, and we're going to go with circles with the shoulders, big circles. You're going to start to add the elbows. Take it out to the wrists, and then out through your fingertips. Coming forward, shoulders, really let them move. So your scapula is really moving along your back. Your collarbones are moving. Elbows start to come into it. So you're making this big circle with your elbows. Bring it to the wrist. And then the whole thing, big circle. Good. And then let's just do a contralateral pattern. So you're going to swing your arms, look behind you at the back arm, letting them swing in the wheel plane. This is the sagittal plane. Sagittal dimension, like Sagittarius, forward, backward. Sagittal plane, we add some up, down. Swinging. See if you can really let go on the swing. So it's the effort maybe comes at the top to stop it. Good. And then come in, and we're going to take it down to the floor. So sitting on your butt on the floor. Cross-legged position. Arms open wide. Side stretch one way and then the other. Oh, just had an adjustment, a little chiropractic adjustment without a chiropractor. Sans chiropractor. And then we're going to circle the whole way around. Take it to the side. Reach out through your fingertips, head away from your tail, circling the whole way around. And inhale up. Sideways and forward, around and lift. Side stretch. Take it forward, head away from your tail. And open, side stretch. And forward and around and open. Like, so it's your whole diaphragm, your organs, everything moving around inside there. Also, it's bones, it's muscles, it's fascia, all the stuff moving, your nervous system, right? So even as I'm stretching here, the nerves that are going out to my fingertips, the nerves even around my heart are getting movement, right? The nervous system is routed through your body. When you move your body, your nerves are moving. Like, look at my spine, my head, tail. What's happening in there? Brain out through your spinal cord. So we want to get some micro movement and macro movement for all that. All right, switch non-dominant leg goes in front. My hair is at that awkward stage. That's okay. Going side side to start out. Open. Letting your head go off vertical, feeling into that side side movement. So try not to space out. Stay present with the sensation of the movement, circling the whole way around. One more time, going back. Good. And then take your legs out in front of you. Just give them a bang up and down. Let your calves and hamstrings loosen up. So just a gentle hit into the floor, rotate them in and out, letting the femur head have some movement in the hip socket. Bang it out. Sometimes we don't even know what we're holding until we let it go or until somebody touches us and we're like, oh, right? We don't often feel the patterning that's going on to support our body because we also haven't been trained. Most people haven't been trained to feel into that. So hopefully this work is offering you a little chance to feel into your own body, feel what is going on in there. All right, coming down onto your back, just relax into the floor for a second. Take a big deep breath. Relax and spread. Make noise with your breathing if you need to. Adding that sound element of your voice and your vocal cords is going to vibrate the tissue differently. Maybe shake out your spine, free it up. No clamping, no grabbing unless you want to, right? Freedom in your body is letting go of extra tension. Shake it out. And then just easy knee drops from side to side, letting this massage through your butt, releasing your lower back, one side and then the other. And we're going to add to this. So we're going to be a little more active than we usually are. You're going to roll it over to one side and just press pelvis forward and through. Roll it to the other side and press. Roll and press. Roll and press. So you're working your back a little bit. This isn't so much to do hard work in your muscles. It's more to mobilize, engage slightly, get the blood flowing, get the fluid flowing, and also to open the front of your hip flexors. Let your spine have some freedom. It doesn't have to be super high. Good. And then come in. Let's do like a real actual Bartenieff fundamental. So you're going to keep your feet a little bit separate. So they're like sit bone distance apart, hip distance apart. Drop your knees down to one side. Let your body flop. So one foot is behind the other. It's open. You're going to look out into the open palm and then circle your arm around your body, following your hand with your eyes. Soften your elbow slightly so we're not adding a lot of tension to the arm. It's moving around as easily as possible, like you're sliding through melted butter. And then change the direction. So nice movement in your rotator cuff. Inhale as you open, exhale as you close. Rib cage, lungs, and heart moving around. Eyes connected to the hand. No big tension in the arm as it's circling around. And then we're going to bring it in. So to come back, you're going to imagine that your pelvis just shifts. So it's like you have a little string at the back of your tail pulling you into the floor and the legs follow. The knees drop to the other side, look into the palm of the hand, circle it up over your head. Big arm circles, following your hand with your eyes. A little bit of Bartenieff fundamentals. Who was Bartenieff? Irmgard Bartenieff was a woman who studied with Rudolf Laban, changed direction. She was a performer, a dancer, and a physical therapist, and really a pioneer in dance movement therapy. And let's come back in. She worked with a lot of polio patients. And when was this? Maybe in the 50s, 40s, 50s. I need to look up the timeline of her life. But she was working with kids that have polio, and her whole like MO was to motivate, activate, motivate, get people moving because it's fun, because they want to move, not because it's torture and they have to. So let's do some of these. So these fundamentals, these Bartenia fundamentals are kind of like building blocks of movement as she saw it. So we'll do the knee drop, which is different than the way I do it. So it's going to be you drop one knee and then you drop the other. It's what I was saying. You're going to let your pelvis shift back. So it's like your pelvis is getting smeared across the bagel of the floor. And then your knees come up. So one leg, the other leg, smear and come up. One leg, the other leg, pelvis shifts, and the legs follow. So often people want to have their legs come up to move their pelvis, but for this, let's try to move. You could even think of moving from your midline coming down to the floor, and then legs follow. The midline draws back to the floor, and the legs follow. A couple more times. So when we move that way, it really changes the relationship of your piriformis, the tissue in your glutes and your butt. Like it's kind of gives you some shear as opposed to just rolling across. There's some shear in those muscles and in that fascia. Good. Let's come in. We're going to do a Bartenia forward pelvic shift. I am wearing, this is an old costume, this pair of pants that used to have something attached to it, like a top that was sewn on. And I see why, because these pants want to fall down all the time. I'm going to tuck in my shirt. All right, so we're going to do this thing called the forward pelvic shift. And what you're going to do is you're going to think of like a plane taking off. You're going to have a big breath in. On the exhale, the plane goes down the runway, and then your pelvis shifts that way. So your hamstrings kind of fire up. It's not like a big push, like a bridge, so much as almost like a little pull of pelvis moving forward and those two directions, right? Up and towards your feet. And then you just let yourself fold back down. And just feel what your feet want to do there. Feel what your hamstrings want to do. Feel how your body chooses to do this exercise. It's good if you let like part, so take a deep breath and then half the breath goes. And then at the end, the launch happens. The plane takes off. One more time. Good. And it doesn't have to go up high. So it's a little bit different. Now we're going to do like a more fitnessy yoga style one of just pressing up and folding and coming back down. So unfolding the hips, pushing, working your back body, and then folding. This is maybe one of the most in my opinion, valuable exercises for people who sit all day long, which seems to be the entire human race at this point. Unless you are an athlete or a well, that's not true. There's a lot of people who work outdoors, like you work in the garden, you work in the fields, you work in the parks. They are not sitting all day. And being outside is super healthy. We need that. We need that sunlight, vitamin D. All right, coming up, circles. But most people are sitting way too much. Sitting is the new smoking. It's also the old smoking. Change direction. But there were points in time when people thought smoking was healthy for you. You can just read, it's in Robinson Crusoe. He's like, he gets sick and then he's like, oh yeah, I've got this tobacco. Let me try it out. And let's come in, roll it down through your spine, take your legs and arms up in the air and shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. That's all my weird things to tell you about. Open it up. Free flow, your happy baby. Have some happiness in your baby position. And the thing about sitting, like if you sit all day long and then you go and take like a really intense fitness exercise, you're requiring a lot of very different stuff from your tissue. Better to like sit, go out for lunch, run up and down the stairs, sit some more, drink a lot of water so you got to pee, move around your house or your office or outside. Like try to take breaks where you move a little bit and then do your HIIT class or whatever your intense exercise class. All right, let's take the legs up in the air. Let's just go toes, heel, toes, point. Both legs together. Toes, heel, toes, point, toes, heel, toes, point, toes, heel, toes, point. We're going to add to it toes, heel, ear, flex, rotate out, rotate in, toes, point. Toes, flex, out, in, point, up. Toes, flex, turn it out, turn it in, point. Up looks like this. Toes, flex, out, in, point, up, toes, flex, rotate, rotate, point, up. We're going to add to it, but make it different. So I'm going to take my hands behind my head. I'm going to flex my knees at ankles and reach them out on the diagonal. Flex my knees at ankles up to the ceiling like a frog. Flex, reach it out, flex to the ceiling. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Flex and reach, flex and reach. Deep breath, deep breath, deep breath, deep breath. Flex and reach, two more. That counts as one. Last one. Good. Shake it out. And let's do a little bit of mobility work. So for me, like the mobility work is just being able to move. So we're going to do this, and it doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to look like what I'm doing, but I'm going to roll to one side, push myself up and come back down, roll to the other side and come up and take it down. So sometimes people are like, you have to do this with your hand and then do this and then do this and then do this. But sometimes it's nice just to go, I could go any way that I want to from one side to the other. And the more options that we have, the more variety packs of movement that we can have to get around, the better. So let's start to take it over, maybe come up onto all fours in any way, take it back down, roll, come up, come onto all fours, bring it down. If this hurts your knees, either add padding or come up to sit on your butt, right? So I could just go like this. I'm not going to come up to all fours. I'm going to come up to seated. Look at little babies. Look at them get around, right? Can I easily move up and down into the floor? I know a lot of people stop getting down on the floor at a certain point in their life. And of course, if you're in my class, obviously you're on the floor. But it's important to be able to have a relationship where we can get down and we can get up. So I could do it like this, right? Just rolling right away onto my knees to come up. If again, work with what feels okay in your body, find different ways. And it's interesting doing this work. I feel like, oh, I'm getting a better workout than doing any of the like exercisey things. I'm also getting a cramp in my calf because I'm dehydrated. So I'm going to have some water. Make it playful, make it fun. Moving around in a playful way is going to give you better exercise. If it's enjoyable, it's like, oh, I just did all that stuff. I didn't even think about it. All right, let's take it back down and do some exercise. Somewhere here. Oh, let's grab weights. I have a couple choices. I have an 8-pound ball. You could use a rock. It doesn't have to be like what a weight that is a weight. Go out into the world, find a rock and use that. Or a couple of weights, a set of weights, a single weight. I'm going to come down onto the floor, knees together, feet turned in, circling around my body. Inhaling as my arms go over my head, exhaling as I come up. You might have a cast iron pan you could use. Those things weigh a ton. Change direction. Maybe not a good idea. Maybe that's a bad idea. I don't know. But think about it. Like, what things do you actually use in your life that are heavy that you have to, whoops, move around? This ball is kind of weird and slippery. Good. And then come in, let that go. Circles. Body loves circles. So we're going to do some more with our legs. Yeah, I was noticing this cramping yesterday. And I think I am missing some, I don't know, minerals, elements, electrolytes, or just hydration. Let's take our legs up to the ceiling and make big circles. So these can be big or small. Work with what feels right in your body today. And if you aren't certain, listen into it, right? What would feel good? Would it be nice to do this bigger? Would it be nice to do it smaller? I'm going to change it to flexed. And then I'm going to let my butt peel off the floor and then open it up. So I'm curling up and then opening as I come down. That's just an option. You don't have to do it. Last one. Open your feet wider than your sticky mat or wider than your shoulders. Internally rotate one leg at a time, spiraling in. Breathing. Let that tissue in your legs have the internal rotation. So the tissue inside are like these layers of muscle, fascia, even like within the muscle, like each little muscle fiber is enclosed by a little fascicle, right? Little bundles of tissue that are bundling your body and routed through the whole thing, right? That's your organ of form, your fascia. So as we're moving, these layers are having a chance to slide and glide, to hydrate. Movement hydrates tissue. I'm going to hook my heel over and just take it down and rest in that stretch. Breathing into it. And the other side. Feel your breath. Stay present in your body. Stay present in sensation. And then come in. Let's open up one more time. Pelvis high. Interlace your hands behind your butt. If possible, walk your shoulders together. If you can't interlace, don't worry about it. It's totally fine. Just push down into the floor. Inhale, knees open. Exhale, knees closed. Again, fascia, muscle fiber, tissue moving around inside your body. If we didn't have all those layers and that fluid, that hydration in our body, we would have a hard time moving. Inhale, open. So we're just increasing the dynamic relationship between the layers of our body, or the layers is a wrong way of putting it, but it's all one body. But there are sort of tissues that are more fibrous and dense, and then things that are more fluid and gelatinous. And let's open it up and come all the way down. Legs up to the ceiling. Shake, shake, shake. Hit out the calves just in case you're having the same kind of cramping that I have been having. And then one more happy baby pose. Find happiness in the baby if that is possible. Playful baby, wiggle around. And maybe at first, like the playful baby is like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to do these, whatever, be weird. But eventually just really feel into your body and be like, oh, that feels good. What do I want to do? What would feel good? So that the playfulness becomes intrinsic response. Like, oh, I'm ready to shake this out. I'm ready to let this go because I start to pay attention to what my body is doing, how it's responding to things. So I'm not forcing everything from my head down, but I'm coming from my body up. Just an idea. Let's come onto our sides. We're going to take the bottom hand forward, top arm forward, and then we're going to go with this contralateral pattern. Inhale, open, exhale, closed, or the other way around. Doesn't matter. You have lots of lung space in your back body. So these patterns of breathing shouldn't be locked in like it's the only way. We want some capacity to try different things. Last one. And then you're going to do, am I going to do it here? Here, yeah. Elbow to knee and reach it out. Elbow and knee reach. Bring it in, stretch and spiral. In, reach. In, reach. In, reach. 5, 4, 3. I'm really kissing the floor here. 2, getting that spiral. Last one. And then come in. Just feel the difference between the two sides of your body. Maybe you can start to sense that contralateral diagonal across your body. Find a way to come around to the other side. Find your way to the other side. And the same thing. This arm is forward to help balance. Me and the plants are fine. So you're going in this contralateral pattern. Big breathing. Inviting that movement into the deep lobes of your lungs. Four more. 3, 2, last one. And elbow past knee. Spiral. Reach. The breath could go either way. I could inhale, open. I was doing it the other way before. So really find a pattern and a rhythm in the breath that works for you and stick with that for a while and then switch it up. But connect to what is going on. So it's not just random, but there is awareness with it. 2 more. Last one. And relax. Come onto your back. Knees and elbows together. Just open and close here so that you're getting your folded arms and legs to open and close together. And then you're going to open, roll onto one side by closing, roll onto your back by opening, and close. Open and close. Yeah, my pants are completely falling down. Open and close. So I have all these costumes with these really great leggings, but they just aren't the most well made. And so they're not very comfortable to wear, which is a real bummer because they're great patterns. When I go to the store to buy like clothes to work out in, I'm always really disappointed. It's all black and brown and like solid colors and boring stuff. Very uninspiring for me. So, yeah. And then you go, like, we bought these in Queens at some store, like way out there, and they had the best patterns, but they're just not the best fit. Take a heel rock. And then there's like brands that make cool patterns and they're just too expensive. I'm like, I just can't buy that stuff. Anyway, open it up into a big X, elbow to knee, and slide it, open it up. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Cross body, head off the floor or not. You can also leave your head down. Inhale, open. Open to the X. And change it to a straight arm and straight leg. I'm going to leave my head on the floor now. And I'm pretty stable in my body. I'm not contracting everything and crunching every muscle so much as trying to keep my shoulders and hips stable on the floor. Like just keep them sort of in that rectangular relationship where they're not popping a whole lot. But now we're going to change it. So I'm going to do an elbow to knee on one side, elbow to knee on the other. This is another Bartenieff fundamental called body half. So it's almost like you're listening to your knee. So you want that C curve to be going into your spine. But again, my hip bones are staying kind of equidistant from the floor. So I'm not popping one hip up. My knee comes up off the floor and my foot comes off the floor. Body half, one side versus the other. Homolateral movement. All right, let's come in, flip it over. We're going to do a little bit of stuff for arms. So I'm going to do tricep push-ups, and then I'm going to pop up my knees in between each push-up. You could do more pec push-ups wider or tricep push-ups narrower, whatever you want to do. Make this work for you. You can make it harder. You can make it easier. Do it however you want to do it. I'm going to flip myself around. Okay, so I'm going to do a tricep push-up, and then I'm going to pop up my knees and come into a plank. Knees down, tricep push-up, knees up. Knees touch, push-up, knees up. The only way to get strong is to keep working your muscles, right? Do stuff to get stronger. Coming from dance, my lower body, my torso has always been really strong, but my arms have not been the most strong. That's coming from like, yeah, I don't know. There is dance where your arms get strong. Take it to a downward dog. Bend one knee, bend the other. Walk through your feet. You're going to lift your heels high, scoop your belly in, round your spine, roll it forward, find your plank. Drop your head, push with your arms, roll it to the ceiling, lower your heels. Heels high, scoop your belly in, round your spine, find your plank. Drop your head, roll it to the ceiling, lower, up. Kinetic chain of movement. Last one. Take it all the way down. Ah. Bend your knees and let your legs fall from side to side. Let that massage through your quads. Relax your back. Breathe. Breathe into the front space. So think of really breathing into the floor. So your belly gets to fill up. Relax the front of your body. And then think of breathing into your back space. Let's change the feet to making circles. Breathe into your back body. And change direction with the legs. Again, we're massaging out the front of the thigh, and we are relaxing lower back and glutes. And then bring it in, tops of the feet to the floor, hands next to your chest. You're going to inhale, upper body, lower body, open it to an X, bring it back and come down. Upper body, lower body, widen, narrow, come down. Upper body, lower body, reach it out, bring it in, come down. Upper body, lower body, reach it out, bring it in and down. Last one, upper body, lower body, reach it out, bring it in, come down. Arch up, take it back. I'm curling my toes under. Yeah, there's something missing in my body. It might just be water, but I keep cramping. So like my foot was cramping, my calf was cramping. It could be nutrition. All right, let's take it back down to your belly on the mat. Just gonna go further. Now that I've drank some water, arch, connect, press up, and bring it back down. Think of your nose lifting, eyes looking up, arch, 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 look to the ceiling, And then pubic bone drops down and you roll it back down. Nose, eyes, look up. If you want to, try to bend and touch. Oh yeah, I keep getting that calf. Taking it back into a child's pose, wiggling around. I'm bringing it back. I had a banana yesterday, so I don't know if that's it. Because people are always like, oh, you have cramps, you got to eat more potassium. But I also have to say, I've been so busy since I got back from California that I have not had a chance to really eat proper meals that are well rounded. It's more like grab whatever, grab something. It's still pretty healthy compared to most people. I'm not eating fast food, but I just don't have a chance to eat the volume of vegetables, fruits, healthy things, even meat that I would normally eat. So, which means I'm eating more carbs, even though they're gluten free. It's still not the best diet. Press it up, big circles with your top arm. Coming back to that arm circle, but now we're in a totally different relationship to gravity. Change direction. I'm not anti-carb. I'm just like eat a lot of vegetables, fruit, eat healthy meat. That's my diet normally. But if I don't have a chance to cook or go to the grocery store, it gets harder. Let's take our knees in, one hand up. You're going to press up and come down. Going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Swing your legs around to the other side. There's your mobility moment. Taking it up, pressing all the way up, big arm circles, open rib cage, lungs, heart, arms radiating out from that center body, right? Rib cage, lungs, heart, change direction. And then come down, bend your knees, up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And come down. Let's just do a little mobility and massage for your butt, side to side. Spinal mobility, massaging through your glutes. We're going to open and take it down. Push the floor away. Open, open. Take it down. Open, open. Spiral. Open, open. Take it down. Good. Almost done. Just a couple more things. Let's open up into a straddle. If you're tighter, come into a smaller straddle. If you need to bend your knees, bend your knees. If you need to elevate your pelvis, get a towel or something to sit up on. We're going to come in circles, really thinking of circling your diaphragm around over your organs. I'm just going to relax my feet for this. So I'm not trying to activate anything more. I'm trying to release, loosen, and mobilize. Change direction, other way. Letting your pelvis kind of shift from sit bone to sit bone. Diaphragm mobilizing. Ribs mobilizing. Heart and lungs mobilizing. Nervous system mobilizing. Mobility is movement, right? And mobility work is designed to give you easier movement, more flow, more hydration, more agility, more capacity to respond, right? If we're all locked up inside, we don't have a lot of capacity to respond to the environment in a way that is, let's say, optimal for the environment and for ourselves, right? If we're all locked up, we're fighting it all. Try and let go of some of that, whatever. Ugh. And if you're aiming that tension at yourself, which pretty much everybody who Most people do. Fundamental self aggression. If you're being unkind to yourself, work towards letting go of that pattern, right? If we can't be kind to ourselves, what are we doing? And I mean, it's really easy not to. So I'm not judging. I'm just saying, let's come in. If you can't be kind, be civil. Loving relationship with yourself, right? Forgive yourself for being imperfect. Open it up, side stretch, face your leg, come back to the side stretch. Inhale, open, over to the side. How do I let go of the fundamental self aggression? Just through awareness, notice it's there, and then say, oh, thank you. But I don't think we need that right now. That's not what I'll have on this menu. You can't, you're not going to erase the parts of yourself that do that, but you're just going to say, it's okay. Go sit in that chair over there. You can be in the room. I can feel loving kindness towards you, but please don't attack me right now. Or if the attack is happening, just don't let it land, right? Oh, that's what's happening. I don't need to take that in. Don't give it your full attention. And I mean, these are stories that people have told us about ourselves, or we've seen it in the world, or like these are ways of being that we learned in order to cope with being here. So bring it in, shake it out. We don't need to erase them and eradicate them. We just want to be kinder to ourselves on a fundamental level. We're not going to erase and eradicate any part, especially those shadowy parts. Those parts need the love more than the good parts of us. Let's take it forward and down. And then unscramble, change it to the other side. This moment is the moment that we're alive, right? We are here right now. We can think about what's going to happen tomorrow or yesterday, but this is the moment that we're alive in. This is the one. It's not somewhere else. Bringing it back in, coming back around to that presence idea of being present with ourselves, being present with ourselves. What we think about ourselves and ourselves matters. Let's come up onto our legs. Open your feet wide, shift from side to side, bend one knee, bend the other. And then come in. You can bend and straighten a couple times, either wide or narrow, whatever feels good to you. And then shake your head no, nod yes, and roll it up. Bend your knees if you want to. Cameraman, could you fix my camera angle? Oh, thank you so much. Inhale, open. Exhale, give it a shake. Let go, let go, let go. Inhale, open. Exhale, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Giving your body a chance to come into presence on the earth, on the planet in a gentle way. Letting go. You belong here right now. You were born on the planet. It is your birthright to be here. Inhale, open. Exhale. If you weren't supposed to be here, you would never have been born, right? So you belong here. Belonging. So that's my great uh, information for the day. And thank you for joining. I will leave the live stream open for a second. So if anybody wants to say anything, you can chat in the chat or ask me a question. I'm getting like I'm blowing up over here. Any questions, comments, concerns from the TV land people? I can just monologue forever. Oh, there's the squeak and deek. What did he bring in? Something gross. What is that? He brought in a toy, but I'm just going to show him to you. I'm going to show you the great Cato. There he is. You probably can't see it, and he won't be still enough to show you, but he's got heterochromia. He's got two different colored eyes. He's got David Bowie eyes. Oh, there, maybe you can see it. The little lunatic who is bringing, oh, I think it's a very old toy. Here, he knows how to play fetch. All right, I don't see anything coming in. No questions. It looks like people are still there. So I'm going to close it out. Thanks for showing up. Feel free to, other side, feel free to write in the chat, in the below the description,